All right, hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Hey everybody, my name is Andrew. You are watching The Launchpad. We are here with live views of Starbase from South Padre Island. Just a little while ago, SpaceX completed some testing on Booster 7, and we wanted to spin up a stream to see what else SpaceX has up their sleeves for today. Now we're gonna have to kind of hold tight and see what we happen with the tank farms and everything to indicate what type of testing we might see for the remainder of the window. Excuse these people. By there's not a lot of traffic here today, but there is a couple people walking around. But yeah, we're gonna stand by to see if we see any chance of some static fires on Booster 7 or Ship 24. As I stated just a little while ago, there was a static fire on Booster 7. From everything that I can tell, visually it looked like everything went well. And SpaceX did tweet out that it was a successful static fire, so that is very cool. So we're hoping they make use of the rest of this testing window today to do some more testing. So the big thing we're looking out for here is to see if we see the suborbital tank farm start to spin up at all. If it does, that would indicate that there's a good chance that SpaceX could be targeting a static fire of Starship S24. That's the vehicle on the right-hand side of the screen there. We're keeping Booster 7 nice and centered for now, as it's, you know, the orbital tank farm is the only thing we see activity from right now. But in the event that we see some sign of Ship 24 spinning up, we'll center Ship 24 and get ready for some excitement. There's still just over 3 hours left of the window today for testing. And they could always decide to extend that as well. But yeah, we thought there was a pretty good chance of SpaceX doing some exciting testing today, so we wanted to get a stream up and yeah, go from there. Good to see everybody coming in. People watching from Texas, Idaho. Welcome, Brown. Good to see you. Seeing some 5x5s in the chat. I see a couple messages about losing audio. Sorry about that. If you got some delays there, I'm just kind of taking a look at our Starlink setup and to see what it's reporting. right, testing, 1, 2, 3. I am back with you. Apologize for those technical difficulties. Of course, we are bringing you this coverage from live on the field. So occasionally we do have these hiccups. Today the hiccup was with Starlink, and it looked like we just did not have a good connection to the Starlink satellite internet. So I'm not entirely sure the root cause of that, but we did some troubleshooting, and we look a lot better off for now. So, excuse me, hopefully we'll be in better shape from this point forward in the broadcast. And for any reason, if the issue does come back up, we'll keep working on it. But we are looking pretty good right now. So I do want to thank you again for joining us today. We are taking a look. Just a second here. So we're taking a look here at Booster 7 and Ship 24. We had a successful static fire of Booster 7 just a little while ago. And now we're waiting to see if the orbital tank farm is going to spin up to potentially see a static fire of Ship 24 today. Let me pull up the chat now that it looks like we're doing a little bit better here. All right. I'm seeing folks from Grand Forks, North Dakota. Connor Patterson says, "What did I miss?" Connor, there was a static fire earlier today, so we're standing by to see if there might be some additional static fires today. Alvina says, "Daily viewing the magnificence of the work being done from New Zealand in different ways." Thank you. Thank you, Alvina, and I appreciate that you're a member. Thank you so much. Brown says, "A bit cloudy, y'all." It is a little bit cloudy. It's a bit springy. And Jab, welcome. Just getting caught up on chat here, everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop those in the chat. We're going to be live with you here while we wait to see what kind of testing SpaceX is going to continue with tonight. Supreme says, would love to see the test happen. Me too. That would be so cool to see Ship 24 static fire today. That would be a really great sign that SpaceX would be making a lot of progress. Patrick says, what time did they change the launch till? So no launch today, but we do hope maybe we could see some potential static fires today. So we're gonna hold tight and see if we see that. Josh, I do believe that we will be streaming the other Starlink mission. So stay tuned on the Twitter. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, stay tuned on the Twitter and the YouTube, and you'll see the stream for that. Rick Denton, the roads have not yet opened, so we do believe that is an indication that SpaceX still would like to do some testing today. I really want to see S24 do a static fire today. That would just really be a great step forward for SpaceX today. So let's cross our fingers and hope to see some testing. John at home, thanks for the question. Welcome to chat. This is in Texas, actually. We're down here looking at Boca Chica, Texas. This is the Starbase SpaceX facility where they're building the Starship launch vehicle. We're out here at South Padre Island, Texas today with live views for everybody. I see an increase in venting happening at the base of Booster 7 at the moment. So we're gonna, even though we're kind of keeping our eyes on S24, let's also keep a sharp eye on Booster 7 to see if there's going to be additional testing happening. While we're waiting to see how testing is going to progress for the day, I do want to take a quick moment to thank everybody for coming by and watching and interacting in the chat. We we couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much. Anybody who's signed up for a membership or has sent super chats in the past, thank you so much for that as well. We couldn't do that without you. We've pinned a link to our Patreon. We would love to do 24-hour streams here from Starbase. And again, your support allows us to do all these great streams. So thank you so much for that. And if you can help out, that would be amazing. And we're going to keep bringing you great content. That's what we like to do, and that's what we want to do. And the more people that we can get interested in all this amazing stuff that's happening, the better. And the more people that are hanging out in our chat and discussing all these cool topics as we watch one of the world's largest rockets get created and testing right in front of our own eyes is really awesome. So thank you, everybody. John says, oh, in Texas, that's why there's still a good amount of daylight. Yeah. We're more south than most of the entire country, so we do get a little bit more daylight down here, closer to the equator technically. We still got 3 hours left of this testing window, which means SpaceX has plenty of time to do some additional testing on Booster 7 or Ship 24, including a potential static fire of Ship 24. It appears Booster 7 is continuing to vent. It might even be depressurizing, which would be a good indication that Booster 7 testing may be done for the day. And then we'll see if teams shift focus from Booster 7 to Ship 24 for the rest of the testing. what we're hoping to see on the right hand side, you can see Ship 24 sticking up above the horizon there. That's the silver item on the right hand side of the screen. And you see some tanks just below to the right of Ship 24. And what we want to see is some venting coming from the general area or those tanks that would indicate that they're spinning up the suborbital tank farm for additional testing. So that's where my eyes are. Keeping an eye on Booster 7 as well, just in case they're not finished up with that yet for the day. But we're just gonna sit back and keep an eye out to see what potential tests SpaceX may run through today. Watching from your couch, Eddie? Nice, nice. Alexis, there actually is a launch today, but not from here. So what we're looking at today is Starbase. We're looking at Starship and Super Heavy. These vehicles will not be launching today. However, there is a scheduled SpaceX launch later today from Florida. And the launch pad will be broadcasting that launch as well. So make sure you tune into the channel, subscribe, and put notifications on if you are interested in hearing about that launch. So we'll be broadcasting that later today. Hey Don, welcome. How are you? No problem, Alexis. One thing that we are for sure to see today is a beautiful sunset. Just a little bit further down in the sky is generally when the lighting at Starbase gets the nicest. So this is going to be a really nice view of the sunset, just a little bit. Welcome back, NCJHD. Good to see you. Welcome, Brian. For anybody just joining, let me catch you up to speed on what we've seen so far today. So a couple, actually, what time are we looking at? Around 5:24 Central Time, SpaceX completed a static fire of Booster 7. They static fired a single engine on Booster 7. They still have just under 3 hours left of the window for testing today, and we've seen no indication that they have wrapped up testing. Booster 7 has done a bit of venting, which could indicate that they might be potentially depressing or have depressed Booster 7. I'm not 100% sure on that yet so far, so we're keeping an eye on Booster 7. But what I'm personally really interested in today is seeing if we see the suborbital tank farm on the right-hand side of the screen start to vent, which would indicate that they are potentially preparing for some additional testing on Ship 24 today, up to and including a potential static fire. So that's what we're looking at today. But we want to keep a live view of the booster and the ship for you, just because there's a potential that there could be additional testing on either of these vehicles in the next 3 hours. Welcome, Freddie. NCGHD says, I think it's great what today's technology allows us to do. We've come a long way since the first mission to the moon. As a child, I also dreamed of going to the moon. That was my biggest dream. Absolutely, NCJHD. I would agree with that for sure. I think the moon missions were a huge source of inspiration for a lot of people. Thanks, Heather. I appreciate that. Welcome from Poland. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Eddie, very true. It's hard to know what's going to happen without being explicitly told. And even the people inside SpaceX, I'm sure, are looking over data and making decisions. So, you know, they could have a plan at the beginning of the day, but by the end of the day, you never know if they've how much they stick to the plan or if everything was different. We have some venting. I'm trying to see where that's coming from. I think that's coming from the suborbital tank farm. So, y'all, if I want to get confirmation of this before I say for sure, but I'm seeing what looks like some good venting, and it could be coming from the suborbital tank farm. If it is, then that could indicate that we could be in line still to see a static fire of Ship 24 today. It really does look like it's coming from the Ship 24 area, so I think there's a pretty good chance that SpaceX is going to continue testing for Ship 24. So this is a great sign. This is a great sign. So I'd just like to repeat, there is a strong indication now that SpaceX has moved into testing of Ship 24. We're going to keep a close eye to see if that venting from the suborbital tank farm continues. And if so, this could be an indication that SpaceX is preparing for a static fire Ship 24 today. Oh, thanks, Nicholas. I appreciate that. That is a little bit easier to pronounce for sure. In the event that it looks like we're going to see a static fire on Ship 24, I'll make sure that I get the microphone positioned in a way that there's a chance you'd be able to hear it. I don't know how well it will come across, but we're going to do our best. But I think you'll hear it for sure, though. If you have any questions about today's Booster 7 static fire, about Booster 7 or Ship 24, Starship in general, or even anything about space in general, rockets, NASA, Artemis, SLS, planets, anything you got, do your best. You can ask those in the chat, and we will do our best to answer those for you. Planet hopping is something the ancients dreamed of. That would be really cool. It would be really, really cool. Oh yeah, take a look closely down there at the bottom right of Ship 24. There is more vapors, which is a great indication that there is orbital tank farm activity. Sorry, suborbital tank farm activity. So SpaceX could be preparing for some sort of spin prime or even a static fire test. Mr. Falcon says, when is this going to happen? Falcon Lim, we just started to see the suborbital tank farm venting, so I don't have an exact timeline for you yet, but I would imagine that now that we see this venting, it would be an indication that we're getting a lot closer. So I'm going to throw a number out there. I would say anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, but we'll have to sit tight. Something exciting could happen either before or after that. I'm going to have y'all give me a second to go set up another camera just in case we see a static fire. I want to get a camera recording as well. Again, I don't think we're imminent within the next few minutes, but I think we are imminent we're testing right now. We'll have to see how far they go with this testing, though. Alright, we have our other camera. Let me volume adjustment here. Volume checking, 1, 2, 3. We have our other camera set up. That way if we see a static fire in Ship 24, we will be able to get up and get a quick video. I'm going to center Ship 24 a little bit more here for everybody. Sorry about that. Half-Life, welcome for welcome. I keep saying welcome for joining today, but yeah, welcome and thanks for joining. But we did have a booster static fire earlier today, so that event has come and gone. But we're really excited right now. Everybody, I would start paying attention to Ship 24 on the front of your screen right now, as we see some heavy venting at the base, which could be leading up to a static fire of Ship 24. We're trying to keep our eyes out for any notices about a siren, because a siren would indicate that we're under 10 minutes until a static fire was to happen. So we're just keeping our eye out to see if we get to that point. Paul D has a great question. Thanks, Paul, for the question. What do you think? How many steps at B7 up to 33 engine static fire are necessary? They won't ignite 33 the next time. I think about 6, 9, 16, then all 33, which scares me a bit. Not sure all will hold. That is a great question, Paul. Of course, right now we know that only the outer 20 engines have been installed, or remain installed. They removed the other ones. So we'll have to wait to see if they ever work up to a 33 engine static fire on Booster 7, or if they have other plans for Booster 7. But in general, I think your question still stands. Will they do one at a time and do each one? Will they do 2 at a time? Will they do 5 at a time? We don't really know. I would love to see a full 33 engine static fire test, but I don't know how likely it is to see that. But I'm honestly, I don't think I have a good answer for you there. I think we're just gonna have to hold tight and see over the next few couple weeks to see what the static fire testing campaign looks like. But I think our answers will kind of come naturally pretty soon. I am noticing that the venting we saw on the suborbital tank farm has slowed down. So we're just keeping a close eye on that activity, because we can base our likelihood of a Ship 24 static fire based on how active that tank farm is, and based on if we see any frost growing on Ship 24. Welcome, Brian. Everything is going well here. Hope you're doing well tonight. Still seeing just some slight activity at the base of S24, at the tank farm there. Some occasional activity, and trying to see if S24 might have some condensation, which would indicate that they're doing something with it. And fingers are crossed that we see a static fire of Ship 24 today. I think I'm noticing on the left-hand side of the screen right now that the chopsticks might be lowering down. I'm trying to see if that's just my eyes or if that's actually happening. The chopsticks were further up just a little while ago, weren't they? If everybody wants to take a quick look at the screen, yeah, absolutely. The chopsticks are moving down on the launch tower. Where they had moved down quite a bit. They don't look like they've moved in the last 30 seconds since I started talking, but they have definitely lowered the chopsticks. And venting seems to be continuing at the base of Ship 24. So we're not out of the woods yet. We still have just over 2 hours left of this window. And we have all sorts of interesting activity happening. We got the chopsticks moving, and we got some venting at the bottom of booster or Ship 24. And my fingers are still crossed, and I'm still hopeful that there's a chance we could see a static fire here today. Hey Joe, how's it going? Welcome. I'll take a moment to thank everybody for joining in so far and for hanging out, asking questions, chatting. For anybody who's sent a super chat or has joined as a member, subscribed to the channel, or liked this video, all of those things are ways to help us accomplish our goals here. We just want more people to be informed about what's happening with the space industry and space in general. So we're just super happy to see everybody hanging out here and chat and having conversations with us and with each other. It's really cool to see people make contacts here in the chat. So thank you so much for everybody who has joined so far. We are standing by to see what testing happens on S24. They're still deep into testing. Will we see a static fire of Ship 24? We will find out, hopefully relatively soon. Mr. Falcom says, if the test flight of Starliner is successful, will all other launches be done here or some of the new pad? I think you mean Starship. Just for a little bit of clarification there, Starliner is actually a commercial crew capsule built by Boeing that will hopefully bring astronauts to the ISS. This is Starship. This is built by SpaceX. But that is a great question. This Starship you can think of as SpaceX's kind of development ground for the Starship vehicle. But eventually there will be Starship launches from Florida as well. Absolutely. Igneous Man says, why don't they use parachutes? I think that they've specifically designed this vehicle to be able to land propulsively because it is more... it is easier to rapidly reuse the vehicle. So if you land on parachutes, you have to repack the parachutes and you have to inspect them and certify them and all that. So if you want this vehicle to be able to land and take off multiple times a day, you don't want to have to do something like that with the parachutes. So basically they want to be able to land this thing, refuel it, and send it back off, and parachutes are just a little bit too much effort to be able to do that with. Thank you for the question. And yeah, Joe says it weighs too much. I think that could also very well be true. I'm sure that, if you put enough parachutes on it, it'll work, but I just don't think it works with the goals of this vehicle. I'm seeing quite a bit of constant venting happening from the base of Ship 24. So with the fact that the sun has started to set, I would have to guess that if we're gonna see a static fire or some other testing, we would definitely be under an hour until testing here. So the next hour could be an exciting one. We might start seeing all sorts of different venting from happening on Ship 24, and we could see an ignition in a static fire. We don't know what SpaceX has up their sleeve. They've already done one static fire today on Booster 7, and we do know that Ship 24 and Booster 7 both went under spin prime testing the other day. So I think they're kind of both in the same position, that they were both ready for static fire. That's my opinion, and I think there's a chance we could see that happening tonight. Oh, it's all good, Mr. Falcon Lem. It is all good. That is an easy mistake to make. Not a worry. I would say under an hour for sure. If we're going to see something happening, I would think it would happen with under an hour. So it's 7:49 now. I would say 7:49 Central. I would say 8:45 Central could be a good timeline. That if we're going to see something, hopefully it'll happen before then. Yeah, good point, Mr. Falcon Lem. They've lowered the chopsticks on Booster 7 all the way down now. Those chopsticks are all the way down. And also, Mr. Falcon Lem, I hope you're feeling better. Feel better soon. Yeah, I've heard that as well, Joe. It sounds like they're pulling in a bunch of engineers to Texas and really trying to speed up the progression of Starship and trying to get this thing off the ground. There has been a couple things that have quote-unquote slowed them down. But I wouldn't say that they're going slow. I think they just needed to spend time and focus on Raptor 2, and also with the FAA findings. But I think they are ramping things back up, and I think you're going to see a lot of activity down here over the next few days and few weeks and few months. Is it okay if I call you Falcon, or would you rather Falcon Lem? All right, y'all, I'm going to take a real quick break here just to address something. I will be back in 5 minutes or so, probably less than 5 minutes, but obviously the stream's not going anywhere. Hang out here and don't take your eyes off S24. I really think that they're gearing up for some sort of test here, so keep your eyes peeled. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat, and I'm going to answer those when I come back. But excuse the door noises here in a couple minutes. It might be a little loud, but I'll do my best to dampen those sounds for you. Yeah, so I'm just stepping away for like 5 minutes. I'll be right back. loud noise alert. All right, y'all, I am back. Welcome. Thank you for hanging out while I took a quick break there, real quick. So we're having a live view of Starship S24 right now, and I'm thinking they're really progressing here towards a potential test, and that could indicate a static fire coming up. I am thinking I see some frost on the vehicle. I would say we're maybe half hour. If we're gonna see a static fire, I think we're maybe a half hour, 45 minutes out from one. All right, we got some questions in the meantime. Igneous says, why is Raptor 2 better than Raptor 1? That is a great question, Igneous. There's a lot... Igneous, I hope I'm saying that right. There was a lot of changes between Raptor 1 and Raptor 2. For one, Raptor 2 is way lighter. It is also way less complex. There's a lot of less sensors and pieces, and it's more powerful. So they've made it lighter, more powerful, and simpler. So there's a lot of differences between the two. I'd recommend taking a look at a picture that compares Raptor 1 versus Raptor 2, and the changes are just like really insane, really insane. So it's quite a different engine. Falcon Lem, that's for the Apollo 15 lunar module Falcon. Ah, gotcha. That makes sense. He says, look for that alarm, or listen for that alarm. Yeah, I will absolutely be taking a look, or a listen, and I'll be watching for tank farm activity. We got a lot of tank farm activity right now, Joe. Now, I will warn you, as we're heading further down the timeline here towards 8:30 Central Time, we're going to be losing a bit of light. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments on the camera, and we might, it might not look quite as good as it looks right now. We might lose a little bit of quality on this camera, but that won't be as important if we see this thing static fire. That'll be a crystal clear static fire no matter what our light conditions are out here. So it might even look cooler. I'm wondering if they've done a static fire after dark, or when the last static fire after dark has been. I know it's been a long time. I mean, I'm thinking back to Hoppy days, but I don't know if there's been much, late night static fires. Paul says, do I see a frost line under the tip? That might just be a reflection, but I do see some frosting on the vehicle for sure. That's a good question. That is a really good question, Paul. It almost looks like it. It really almost looks like it. I'm saying it right. It's named after the rock. Ah, makes sense. That makes sense. Thanks, Igneous. We think somebody says that SN8 or 15 might have done a night static fire. Alright, we're going to do something a little bit different here, y'all. I'm going to take a step out of the vehicle with you, and I'm going to bring you outside. That way, if this testing ends in a static fire, we're going to get the best audio we can. So bear with me, I'm going to mute for just a minute. Alright, we are now outside. This is going to be a quick audio check. There is a bit of a breeze and a stiff breeze happening. So let me know how I sound, and let me know if the wind is really bad. Give me a 1 to 5 on audio quality, and then like a 1 to 5 on how bad the wind is. And then yeah, just say wind 1 to 5, audio 1 to 5. If you are just joining us, thank you for joining us. My name is Andrew. This is the Launchpad. We're out here at South Padre Island with a live view of Boca Chica, Texas. We're looking at Starbase with the possibility of a static fire from Ship 24 in under a half hour. I don't know. We don't know the exact timing, and we can't be 100% sure that static fire is what's going to happen here. But given that we I had a static fire in the booster earlier. We're thinking it's quite a possibility of seeing a static fire here on the ship in pretty short order here, potentially in a half hour or less. But we're just sticking tight, and we're going to keep our eyes right on Ship 24 in case we see some exciting activity. I'm hearing sound by 5x5, sounds good. Wind 0.5, 4. Can hear loud and clear, very good. Can barely hear wind, that's good, that's good. We have a lot of venting coming back from Ship 24 right now. Judging by the amount of venting I'm seeing, I would think that if we're going to see a test, it could be in the next 20 minutes. It's also entirely possible that they just are going to cycle through. We might. It's hard to say exactly what we're seeing right now, but I'm feeling pretty confident that we might see something happen on Ship 24 pretty quickly. There's definitely a frost ring growing around. There is a lot of venting. I'm good. All right. I heard. I've been listening in, and I think that somebody heard a siren. So just in case, I'm going to start spinning up my other cameras. Everybody, I would say take a close, hard look at Ship 24. It is possible there could be a static fire imminent at any time in the next 5-10 minutes. So I just started filming there. I got a stream going here too. But everything's kind of indicating that. Do you know a lot about what we're looking at here?
Yeah, that's Starship.
Yeah, it looks like Ship 24 could be going under static fire in the next 10 minutes or so. So keep a close eye. It happens fast, so you'll see it just for a couple seconds, and then you'll hear it a few seconds later. But yeah, I would keep a close eye up on Ship 24 for a while.
Is it the Booster 7 or is it?
So it's the one on the right-hand side.
Yeah, on the actual launch pad.
So further to the right. So we see Booster 7 on the launch pad.
Yeah.
Then we see the crane, and then further to the right, there's another silver.
Yeah,
That's Ship 24.
Oh, that's the Starship.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. There's a close up of it with NASA Space Flight equipment.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye on it.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we got cameras rolling. We are prepared in case we're going to see a static fire here. Hey Tree, thanks for joining. I see a lot of people are just joining in. I just want to give everybody a quick heads up that we could just be moments away from a static fire of Starship S24. I would guess maybe 10-15 minutes at most. But at this point, I would just keep your eyes on Starship S24. It happens fast. That is the item that you see at the right in the middle of your screen. So I got all eyes on that right now. Hey Metal Halo, thanks for joining. I do want to give you a quick heads up. We do have another camera that is being shipped to us that we're going to test out this week that will give us a better zoom. And of course, we're going to be doing roadside streams from Starbase anytime we get that opportunity when they're doing lifts and booster rollouts and ship rollouts and stuff. This is as zoomed as we can get in for now, but we're gonna keep working on those things, and we can only do that with everybody's support. So thanks everybody who has stopped in for a chat, a question, any memberships, subscribing, liking, all that stuff really helps us so much and allows us to do this type of stuff. So thank you everybody, and we're keeping a close eye on Ship 24 here for static fire. Apologies for just being a little bit quiet on the commentary here. I'm just making sure we have everything prepared for if Ship 24 does this imminent static fire. So we got our cameras rolling, we're excited, my heart's racing, and we're really hoping to see this thing light up tonight. So we're taking a hard look here at Ship 24. I want to see this thing light up. That being said, if anybody has any questions in the meantime, please feel free to put those in chat, and I'll do my best to answer those. The good news is we are a couple miles away, so if I see it light up, I'll be able to quiet up in time for you to hear the thing. And we're gonna hope that this boat that's crossing our vision is not gonna block the static fire. Brian says anytime now. Yeah, I would expect this to be happening in the next 5 minutes or so. Brian V asks, how many engines will they be firing? We will have to wait and find out, but I do know that they spin primed one test on Booster 7 yesterday, and then they static fired one engine on Booster 7 today. So if I heard right, I think Ship 24 spin primed multiple engines the other day, so there's a chance we could see multiple engine static firing today. Igneous asks, how likely do you think it is that we will send humans to Mars by 2026? I think it's possible, but it might happen 2027, 2028, or the beginning of the 2030s. I think it's possible we see humans by 2026, but I wouldn't necessarily... There it is. And there you have it. I don't know if you were able to hear that or not, but that was a static fire of Starship S24, and we are excited down here to see that live. I'm glad we were able to capture that for you. S24 is still standing. It's looking pretty good. We're going to keep a close eye on S24 just to see how the vehicle handles that static fire. So keep a close eye on that. And yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. That got the blood pumping. That was good. I'm very excited to see that static fire happen. I got to see Booster 3 static fire over a year ago at this point. And that's the static fire that's the last static fire I've seen. So I moved down here to start Starbase coverage, and there's been a lot of cool stuff that I've seen. I've seen lifts, I've seen boosters roll, I've seen ships roll, but I hadn't seen another static fire since. So seeing that static fire now is such a great indication that SpaceX is making leaps and bounds towards their goal of an orbital flight test this year. So Booster 7 had a static fire earlier. Ship 24 had a static fire just now. We're keeping a close eye on everything to make sure that there's no more surprise tests coming forward, imminently. But that was great to see. A good indication that they're going to be getting really close to ready for orbital pretty soon here, we hope, as long as none of the testing comes back negative. But that was great. That was really great. That looked like more than one, Chris says. Yeah, that might have been. Metal Halos is beautiful. I agree. That was absolutely beautiful. Drum Junk says, just subbed. Love the channel. Thank you, Drum. We really appreciate that. We couldn't do this out without y'all. Brian V says, was there a release date for the orbital flight test? Not yet, Brian, but we're getting closer to that point. Igneous says, amazing. I agree. That was awesome. We did get other footage of it as well. I'm going to take a quick look at that now and try to post it if it was a good piece of footage there. So keep a close eye on the TLPN Twitter accounts, and we're going to try to post that video shortly. Very nice, very nice. That's cool.
Yeah. How many boosters go off?
I actually don't know. It's really hard to say. I'd say more than one, kind of based on how big that looks.
Because us here, that would have been like, well, I don't do rocket stuff, but I do play like Space Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
So not the best game for this kind of stuff, not terrible.
Yeah.
But it came off both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So that would at least been two.
That's what I would think. So.
At least two.
Yeah.
And was that full throttle or was it just?
That's actually a great question. So
Because I don't think I would have been full throttle.
I don't know what like the throttle profile for those are. If they go full throttle,
Because I'm thinking it would have been full throttle. Because if it would have been full throttle, then 2 engines, no cargo, no people on it, no nothing like that. Very slim fuel on it, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Would have probably taken off.
But they do have it like kind of latched down.
Oh.
But that's a good point. I'm sure it probably hit its thrust to weight ratio for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good question actually about if they go full thrust on them or not. I'll have to try to find that out.
Let's see what we got for a video. Probably better than my phone camera. The rest of y'all pulling up or something like that?
What was it?
Y'all gonna be pulling up or something like that?
One more time?
The rest of y'all gonna be pulling up with y'all friends? Alright, we must go back.
Most of us what? I'm confused.
Oh, it's like yesterday there was like a whole bunch of people.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you walked by a couple times
Yeah.
when we were all hanging out here. So actually, I just met those guys yesterday for the first time. And I'm surprised they're not down here. I would have loved for them to have seen that static fire, but hopefully they're watching from somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going on like very little sleep today, so I can't process.
I only slept an hour today. I got up at 4 with that lightning.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
thunder.
That was crazy, right?
Yeah, it was louder than the static fire.
Yeah. I've seen a static fire here before, and it was a bit louder. I think it's just like the wind and everything, the way it all worked out.
Have those bugs attacking you?
Not yet.
Damn, dude. Not for you.
Why can't I magnify this video? Huh. There we go. Alright. Fast forward here.
How long have you been recording?
Like in general or today?
Well, like, I came down here like 6 and you were here.
Yeah, no, I only came down here probably right around 6 p.m.
Where are you from anyways?
I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, but I moved down here about 4 months ago.
Oh, down to the South Padre?
Yep.
I'm from.
You guys get any good shots?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they gonna fire it again?
No.
I doubt it. We're getting close to the end of the window. If you guys wouldn't mind just taking like 1 or 2 big steps this way, just have a camera roll in there just in case. No, it's all good. It's all good. But I got a shot here that I'm trying to stretch for now. Find where the static fire is. I'm not pretty. There it is. Alright, back. Alright, this is better. Nice. Not bad. I'm gonna actually try to get this uploaded right now. Go YouTube? Yeah. I'm working for the Launchpad. If you look for the Launchpad, you'll find us.
Is it the Starlink cable back there?
Starlink? Yeah. All right, everybody. I'm just chatting with a couple people that were down here, seeing the static fire in person as well. They're all psyched about it. I looked at my camera. I got some pretty good footage from it, so I'm gonna do my best to try to get that uploaded like right now. So yeah, bear with me for a while, but thanks for hanging out. We're gonna keep some live views of Ship 24 for a little bit, just to make sure everything's safe and good. But I'll come back to answer some questions in just a little while. But hang tight, and thanks for joining. All right, let's see. So I'm wondering what tomorrow will bring. If there'll be some more static fires tomorrow or something.
Just what else do they have to static fire?
So I would expect them to potentially do multiple static fires before they try to go orbital or whatever. But they only static one engine on Booster 7, and they got a ring of 20 on them right now. So I would imagine they're going to try to do more. But
They had 22 engines.
22, yeah, whatever the outer ring is. Is it 22?
Yeah, they had 22 engines on Booster 7. They did have 33.
Yeah, and then they took out the middle ring and everything.
Yeah, because they had choice on windows.
Yep.
Do they pay for them though? Those windows?
I don't think they've actually broken any, but
Where's that village?
testing. All right, we switched up mics here for just a minute while I'm working on getting these videos uploaded. Oh man, I need to get my phone charging. Of course, my phone would die. But yeah, I don't think they actually broke any, but it was a pretty big blast. You could feel it from here. Or you could, yeah, you could feel it from here.
Yeah, Starlink right there. Do you get internet anywhere? Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
Can you connect it to your phone and everything?
Oh yeah. It's really cool.
That's awesome. Just right here, like driving like in the middle of nowhere, just pull it with like 5 bars of service.
Yep. It's it can be spotty at times with like how much bandwidth you get. It's usually pretty good, but it's it's going to improve more.
How much that thing cost?
It's like 500 or 600, and then it's like 100 a month.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad for what you get. Yeah.
Your own personal internet open space.
Exactly.
Wait, what's your name?
Sorry, my name's Matt. What's your name?
Dex. Pretty good. Pretty progress, yeah. You missed it just as it like.
I know, dude. I was like freaking out trying to find my way around this circle.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I see the smoke cloud and I'm watching it on YouTube and I'm like,
Did you hear it at least?
no, I was listening.
Yeah. Are you local? Or
No, I'm supposed to be over there tomorrow.
gotcha.
So
You work for that? You work for
No, I'm thinking about it.
Cool. Well, there'll be more opportunities to see them happen. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good destination.
Yeah.
You been there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You get to filming stuff over there?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
I haven't been. I've come here probably my entire life since first year of life.
Wow.
I live like an hour away.
Gotcha. Was this like your family's vacation spot?
Nah, it's
No.
like it's like my family's go-to spot for anything. Like,
Gotcha.
It's like a weekend, board, couple cars there, and full project.
Gotcha. Would you live in like a smaller town or something then?
It's not that small. It's McAllen, down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
McAllen only an hour from here.
A little over.
Like an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Not that far. But it's got like an airport, all that kind of stuff. But the bigger city is Bronzeville.
Yeah. I had a good day in Brownsville this weekend. Just kind of walked around and saw. Well, there's not a ton you can walk around and do in Brownsville, but those are cool parks I checked out. I checked out the zoo and.
You can check out the
Ooh.
They deconstruct battleships there. And all that stuff.
Oh yeah. That at the port and stuff. That's cool. Go to the Brownsville airport and you can get right up close and touch the flap from SN8. It's really cool. So just pull into the Brownsville airport. You can park for free under a half hour. You'll see it. It's like right up front. It's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of cool stuff
Oh yeah.
around this area. Would you say your name was?
Andrew.
Andrew?
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Matt. Canon.
One thing I'd say I like better than SpaceX for down here is the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
The Coast Guard's got pretty good shit.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, if Elon actually gets Starlink to work,
Okay.
what they need to do is get like small little antennas for your phone. You can plug into your headphone jack or just your charging port.
That'd be
Not
cool.
computer.
That'd be really cool.
Cool. I gotta go.
Cool. It was a pleasure talking to you, man. I'm sure I'll see you down here again.
Yeah, you probably will.
I'm trying to find your channel. I think I got it wrong.
You on YouTube?
Yeah.
The Launch Pad.
Do you launch back?
The, like the. You should see it on there. All right, I'm uploading or importing my video now. I'm trying to at least. And it doesn't want me to. All right, I'll have to do this the other way then. Let me check with. Sounds good, man. It was good to see you. Good luck. If everybody's just if anybody's just joining, I know the camera looks real dark right now, but we had a sorry about that. We had what looked like a successful test of Starship S24 static flyer. It's getting dark, but we're going to keep our cams on just for a couple minutes longer to just make sure S24 is safe and not going to be doing any more testing. I know I'm kind of quiet here for a second. I'm just trying to get this video uploaded to y'all. I'm struggling with it a little bit just for technology reasons. But thanks everybody for joining so far. That was such a cool moment to experience here on the launch pad. A big step forward in SpaceX's plan to send this thing to orbit. and you could probably tell the audio quality is not as good either, just because we needed to swap some USB ports around to try to get this video uploaded. So apologize for the audio quality. Alright, we're going to bring you a replay from our other camera here in just a couple minutes, so just give me just a few minutes. It'll take for me to get everything set up. 2 or 3 minutes and we're going to be bringing you a great video of that static fire. Alright everybody, take a look at the screen here. I'm going to add another media source here. And we're going to look at that's not the one. I want to be able to put this other screen up. I know you're seeing just a Windows Explorer screen for now. Sorry about that. Working on Working on trying to get the other window. I think I can just do a video source. Okay, give me another minute. Sorry about this. Alright, y'all should see my screen now. And I'm going to try to fast forward here to the static fire. Alright, everybody, in about 5 seconds, we're going to see a replay of the static fire from my other camera here. If I chose the right media file, I might need... Oh, there it is. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Static fire should be coming up any second now. There it is. Sorry, I'm just skipping around a little bit to make sure I get it for you. I'm just going to leave it. It's coming soon. All right. Let's look at that again. Scrub forward a little bit. Let's see what Ship 24 looks like after the static fire. It's looking pretty good to me. And then it gets dark pretty quickly after that. Yeah, so that was that. Let me just check in with the team here to see if we're good to wrap things up. I can tell you that everything is looking pretty quiet with Ship 24 right now. So I think we're in good shape. So I think at this point we're going to wrap things up. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that has joined and chatted, asked questions, supported us with a super chat or a membership, or even just subscribed, liked the channel, or shared the channel with a friend. We do all this. The only way we can do all this is because of all y'all. So thank you so much. My brain is not functioning to form words right now, just because I'm like trying to do a million things all at once to get the videos uploaded and getting the streams. But I can tell you, even though I can't talk, I'm happy. I'm super happy that we saw that static fire happen. That was a really great moment down here on South Padre Island, witnessing Booster S24 Booster Ship S24 static fire. So that was great. Thank you everybody so much for all the support. We really do appreciate it. We're going to do more of these, and we're going to have a lot of footage down here for you. So thank you so much. We'll talk to you next time. That's it for me. I'm Andrew from the Launchpad. Talk to you soon.